I want to share with you 3 reasons that you want to live in a community. And it's kind of ironic that we would be talking about this because we have social media. And I remember when all the devices came on board, the iPhone, for example, in 2007, and then the platforms that came behind that. One of the talking points, the positive aspects of that, is that it's going to bring us all together. It's going to build a community like never before. Well, it has done that, but it seems like most of that is more adverse than actually a positive thing that has happened to us. It seems that now, all these years later, with all of this community that we have, that people appear to be more alone and more isolated than ever before. Even tempted to isolate more than ever before because they have a companion with them in their devices. You see that in restaurants as people, husband and wife or families, they all have their devices and they're all looking at them and not talking with one another. And there's 100 other ways to illustrate this, but you get it. There is a need for community, and that's why I want to talk about it by giving 3 reasons that you want to live in community, because sin festers and grows in a dark and silent world. To overcome the ever-present pull to be drawn into, you want to walk in the light rather than walking in the darkness, and you want to be talking about the light. And so our job, our responsibility, our opportunity is to walk in the light and to talk about the light, what God is doing in our lives, building community. Now, one of the ways to do that is by letting others know what the Lord is doing in your life. It takes a community to do that. I've said often that there are many things that you can do alone, but sanctification is not one of those things. Now, there are 3 good reasons to let others know about what is going on in your lives, whether it's the struggles you're going through or the highlights that God is doing. 1, it will extend the net of care and accountability around you. The more who know what you are doing, the more people there are to serve you by talking directly to you. Now, I'm not talking about letting everybody know what is going on in your life. I'm talking about certain people who actually meet the criteria of a good friend. You trust them, they can speak into your life, they have the competency to do that, and they care for you. They actually spend time considering you. And so that is the net of accountability that I'm talking about. And then the more that you talk about what God is doing for you, the more motivated you will be to keep moving in that direction, assuring your ability to learn, to remember, to apply what God is teaching you. As I like to say, the teacher learns more than the student, and so the more that you talk about the things that God is teaching you, the more those things become inculcated into your psyche, into your soul, and it strengthens you. It's one of the advantages of doing biblical counseling, no doubt, because you spend your days thinking about sanctification, and that is a definite plus. And so you're engaging God and asking Him about things as you wrestle with Him about different concepts, whether it's something that you're working through personally or you're helping someone work through. But as God is teaching you those things, you want to share them with others. Let them know what God is doing in your life. And then the more you share what God is doing, the more others around you will be encouraged to change and grow. God's grace becomes contagious as it spills in to other people's lives. And so you must tell your friends what is happening. You want to expand appropriately with discretion and discernment that net of accountability. These friends must not be people pleasers. They must be grace-empowered, God-honoring, neighbor-loving truth tellers. Real friends should be compassionately critical during this season of your life. And then, as God continues to work, you just want to brag on God about what He is doing, point number 2. And then number 3, that creates a redemptive contagion among your community. To find these kinds of friends, Proverbs gives us some good advice in 27:6, where the writer says, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, profuse are the kisses of an enemy."